Hi there, my name is Martin Bissig. I'm a Canon ambassador based in Switzerland. What I'm holding here in my hand, it's the latest brand new Canon EOS R5 that I was lucky enough to test for a full week. And I must say, I fell in love with the camera for the first time when I held it in my hands. The camera offers tons of features which makes my life as an action and sports photographer a lot easier. In this video, I would like to go into the details of some specific features that I love the most. The sensor that is built in this camera, it's a 45 megapixel sensor, which is cool and really great to see even the tiniest little details. But what's really important for me as an action photographer is the amount of frames I can take in continuous shooting. And the cool thing is I can choose between the mechanical shutter, taking 12 frames per second, or I can go up to 20 frames per second when I switch over to the electronic shutter. One could think the difference between 12 frames and 20 frames isn't that much, but in a real life situation where I need to capture really fast action, it does make quite a difference. Here's a sample. The freestyle motocrosser covers a lot of distance within a very short period of time. I wanted to have him framed by the flowers, and there's only one position that really works for me. Let's quickly zoom in and see if he's in focus. Yes, he is. Great. So let's finish him this stunt. All in all, I took 34 frames for that one jump, but only this final image works well. One of the most important features for me as an action photographer is the autofocus. Now, with the new Digic 10 processor, the same that is built in the 1DX Mark III, I am able to capture all the action, not just super fast with a lot of frames, but also all of the frames are in focus. Let's check out a couple of samples. I shot the skateboarder with the fastest lens I got in order to see if the autofocus really works perfectly. He is wearing black clothes and moves in front of a pretty contrast background. So it's not the easiest task for the camera, but the R5 handles it extremely well. Out of these 25 shots, the autofocus never lost a subject and every single shot is in focus. Here's the final image I chose out of the sequence. The R5 works great with fast action shots. The eye autofocus that has been introduced with the EOS R has been further improved, and it now even tracks the head. Here's an example. I was shooting straight against the light and I had to overexpose by 2 stops, which already would be a challenge for most of the autofocus systems out there. But you can clearly see that the autofocus tracks the eye of the athlete without ever losing it. And the best thing is yet to come. Even if he turns his head around, the autofocus stays on his head and keeps locked until he turns back and the autofocus catches on his eyes again. That's something that would not have been possible before. One of the features I love the most about the camera is the capability of shoot 4K super slow motion. I can do that without a crop and I can shoot up to 120 frames per second. A new feature and a big improvement in the EOS world is the built-in 5-axis image stabilization, which helps me to reduce camera shakes of up to 5 stops. Combined with certain lenses, it helps me to reduce camera shakes of up to 8 stops. Here's a sample. This photo was handheld at 1/4 of a second with the 15 to 35mm lens that has the lens in-body stabilization built in. You can see it's completely sharp. If we move over to the tree, there's some motion blur caused by the wind on the branches, but not by me as a photographer. There are so many new cool features in this camera, I don't even know where to start. You can film up to 8K in RAW internally, so that's a first. You can shoot HEIF images, you've got 2 card slots, and I'm sure this camera is a camera that you fall in love with. So have fun taking pictures and stay creative.